In this video, I'm going to show you in just 3 days how I was able to make over $3,000 from a very small account and even a big loss. As you see right here, I literally lost $9,000 from a single trade, and I posted even a video about what happened here. But in this video, I'm going to show you how I was able to bounce back from that loss and grow this account right back to where it was at. And I'm also be showing you guys the exact setup and strategies that I implement to show you how I did this consistently. Now, if you don't know who I am Solo ETV, and in my YouTube channel I talk about how to scale small accounts because I am a trader that never had the actual funds before we even grew a $4,000 account to $40,000. And just from doing that from our live streams, I consistently did it again, and consistently did it again. So in this video, I'm going to make sure I give you guys everything you need to know. So make sure you don't skip past anything because it's very crucial to understand from A and all the way to Z how to master this setup. So my goal for you from this video is to show you how I flipped a small trading account using just the Fibonacci's and sniper entries around my P&L and P&H zones. And then by the end of this video, you will know where smart money hides, how to use liquidity, how to find and use the Fibonacci with sniper entries, how to plan your trades to scale your account, and how to actually be consistent and do this like it's clockwork. First, I want you to understand why everybody is failing with small accounts and why so many people don't actually know how to consistently do this. One of these, we will always risk way too much on early trades. And I'm gonna literally show you that's exactly what I did here. And then the second thing could be, we could be chasing price with no clear levels. And that was that $9,000 loss that you're now seeing here. And then you also have the no plan emotional traders as well. And then you also have your over trading and sniper entries. So the goal is, I don't want any of you guys to be any of these traders. The goal is really to make sure if we have 3 of these checked, let's try to eliminate at least 2 of them. And then once we work on those, let's try to eliminate at least 1 of them. As a human, we probably going to have something here. But this is why a lot of traders fail. And this is even why I almost took my account completely out. What is a P&L and a P&H? A P&H is what I refer to potential new high. And then the P&L is potential new low. So this is where institutional's price is like the magnet. This is where price creates this high, creates this low. And essentially you can use this in your advantage to take this to your take profit mark, or you can use this for entry models. There's so many different variants that you can actually scale an account just based off of the P&H and P&L method. Now, also, this is a nice way to use to trap retail traders. This is where price is coming in and a lot of buyers or sellers are coming in here and taking these buy and sell positions. But if you don't know how to properly scale an account off of the P&H and P&L zones, it is almost impossible for you to make this happen. And then also, this is the prime zone for reversals and continuation setups. Now, next thing is you need to understand how to find a P&H and P&L zone. And it's only used by a technical tool, which is the Fibonacci. So the Fibonacci, we're going to be looking at 4 different levels. The first level is going to always be the golden level for those that study Fibonacci, which is your 618 pullback zone level. The second psychological midpoint level is the 50% mark. That's perfect. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. So if you notice that the market is dropping and going down, and then you notice that we got a pullback, you use your Fibonacci. A lot of times we use the fair value gaps, we use support and resistance, we use supply and demand, and we have maybe 3 or 4 of these levels marked in our charts. Did you guys know that just by using the Fibonacci, this can give you the most accurate and valid support resistance, supply demand, fair value gap, imbalance zone that the market is bound to react off of and even mitigate that area? If you take your theories or concepts that you already have in mind, all I want you to do is add the Fibonacci to it. So the moment we now add this Fibonacci, let's say that we did tap into a 618, and then even hell, let's say that we have the 50% mark and the 618 mark, and we see everything above it is support and resistance or supply demand or fair value gaps. Those are only levels that I care to pay attention to. So the moment market decides to hit these levels, this is where we start to look for our entry model, which we'll talk about in a little bit of how to actually get in like the perfect entries. I'm gonna show you guys the setups I got from scaling this account literally to where it got to in 3 days. But other than that, if you guys look closely, we now want to pay attention to our take profit levels. Our take profit levels is the key factor to scaling this account. We use two different levels. I've been using this for multiple years now, and it is the -27. This is all from the Fibonacci expansion tool. And then we also have the -618. So these two levels is prime to finding your P&L and P&H zones. So for instance, since we're looking at this on a standpoint of selling, we want to look for a P&L zone, potential new low zone. The best way to do this is use this on a 1, 5, or 15-minute chart, depending on the trade speed. It really doesn't matter. But all you're doing is taking your profits from entering here and you're exiting here. As you guys see, this is literally what we just took off of our TWS trading community, which was a call out trade that I basically called out. And it got the account to $8,000 just by taking this single trade. And as you see, another trade that I was actually able to call in my trade with solo community, we took another beautiful buy position right at our aggression zone and instantly made profits. And this is also what scaled my account to that $3,000 in just 3 days, even from a tremendous loss that you guys seen earlier. So yes, this might sound very simple, but this definitely fucking works. You just have to understand and follow directions. So now that you guys fully get the concept of the P&L and P&H using the Fibonacci, let's talk about a little bit more. Now, I wanted to interrupt this real quick for my traders that's really out there struggling or even need consistency. I, once again, as a trader, that got started because I wanted to fund my music career. All I had was $600 checks, and it's all I've been using to deposit money into my trading account. That taught me a lot because over the years, I spent over $100,000 not even knowing that was something I can even do. But to sum it all up, what I decided to do was go live on YouTube. I decided to say, you know what, if I stick to a plan that I've been working on from day one, let's see what this could do. And that's when I took a $4,000 account to $40,000, all here on YouTube. And after that, I said, let me do it again. And once again, we tried it one time with $1,000 to $10,000, and it happened again. And I said, wow, let me try it one more time. And guess what? It happened again. So what I'm getting at is the consistency is there because I stick to a plan and I make sure I lock in. So my goal to you is I want to be able to get you on track the same way. Once again, as you see in this video, we're even growing another small account, and this is consistently happening. I don't even deposit no more than $10,000 in my account because I don't need to, because I feel confident and comfortable enough to sit here and say, and you guys see it even proof, is taking $1,000 to 10K, 10K to 100K is possible. You just have to lock in. So that's exactly what we do in TWS. So if you guys want to be part of TWS and join my one-on-one mentorship where we do private chats and we do direct calls with just you and only you, lock in. You can go ahead and tune into it. The link is in the description. And when you guys hit the application, one of us will get in contact with you. Otherwise, I appreciate you. Let's go ahead and get back to the video. So before we go into the live market and show you a little bit more of my setups, I have to show you how to actually use this. This is what I like to call the 3-step flow. Looking at the market, you want to pay close attention to the first thing, which is look for the range, which is the A point and the B point. And that is simple uptrend or simple downtrend. So after you establish your up in either a downtrend, in this instance, we're going to go for the uptrend. This is essentially your range. And this is now where you want to draw out your Fibonacci. So then you identify the P&H and or the P&L zone. And how you identify that is, like I said, draw out your Fibonacci. You draw it from A point to the B point. And then wherever that -618 is at and a -27, you draw out your rectangle box and you map it out right here. This is only looking for where the market could potentially reverse or where the market could potentially create a new high or new low. This isn't the entry part, but you do need this part to know how far to take this trade and where your risk should be and your entry should be. Now, the next thing is wait for a pullback to hit your golden zone levels, within looking for structure like support and resistance, or supply and demand, or institutional levels, or imbalance levels, or fair value gap levels. But you're waiting on market to tap into these levels. And then once it does, the most important thing that I talk about also a lot is your price action momentum candles. I'm not talking about just using one single candle or using 5 candles. I'm talking about the overall reaction. So one of the major key to entries is knowing when to enter. And the most profitable way is looking for wicks. So the more wicks, the better. If you get a wick that basically closed in a support resistance or supply demand level, and then you notice the next wick also closed 50% of this wick, this is a clear indication that now the buyers are in the market, because on a smaller scale, essentially everything that's being played out here is all the sellers and all of the buyers are even trying to fulfill orders. So the banks are going to come right back to take at least some of that, mitigate some of that. And then if we get that beautiful engulfing candle, that now is your entry. So now that you guys understand everything that I just broke down from here, I want you to fully understand how this strategy works even in the live market. So right now, today is Friday. Unfortunately, I just got out of a beautiful US 30 trade and I don't plan on taking any trades, but I do want to show you guys setups of how this was able to be played out. So the first thing is identifying your range. We see on a higher scale, which is the 1 hour right now, even the 4 hour, we are going up. We created a new high, and a new high. However, we're paying attention to this reaction right now. I want to start looking for these zone levels to see where market could bounce back to. So what we're going to do is look for wicks. Wherever we see long tail wicks, once again, I know the market wants to bounce back to this area. So I need to use that in my advantage. So now I'm going to say, all right, since we have this large wick here, I'm sure eventually market needs to come back in this area to tap into here and mitigate this area. So now I can scale into a smaller scale like the 5-minute time frame, and then we can start looking for these entries. So if we play this through a little bit, let's go ahead and hit play. Now I wait on market to tap into this area. So once again, like I said before, if you guys catch this at the right time, you can literally figure out so many different things with your profits, your risk, and all of the above. So what we're going to do is we're going to map out 2 different directions. I'm going to show you guys the Fibonacci from a smaller scale and show you the Fibonacci from a higher scale. Let's start off the smaller scale first. Looking here on the 5-minute time frame, I see this is my A point and this is my B point. So if I draw my figures from here to here, and then I look anything below the 50% mark, which is my blue line, I'm already potentially interested, because on that 1 hour scale, the 4 hour scale, we needed to mitigate this area anyway. So anything inside here, I'm already seeing as a fair value gap, or even support and resistance or supply demand as a valid level. So now let's say that I'll do pay attention and execute this trade from this move right here. And then let's say now I want to TP roughly inside of my P&H zone. Remember, the P&H is your potential new high. This is where market likes to reverse. So I'm going to say, all right, my TP mark is going to be here. So let's go ahead and play it through. And then as you see, market did take some time, and this was due to the time. And this all depends on when you're actually trading. But as you see, market did tap into this P&H level. So this is where I TP. Now here's where this gets a little bit more interesting. Let's say that you understand how to scalp on a smaller scale, but also you want to hold a trade out longer. Well, if I go back to the 1 hour scale, we have a bigger range. The bigger range now is going to be from this A point, which is here, to this point, which is here, and even this point, which is here. And we're going to utilize this point right here. So now even on a higher scale, I know that this is my biggest potential new high. So here's where you can even fine tune this a lot more. If you look left and you notice that there is a major support and resistance or supply demand level right here, you can actually use this even for extra confirmation. And let's say if we decide to look left, we actually do see a very beautiful setup where we have kind of like a key level, because it's been bouncing off support and resistance. So this could be a lot of different structural strategies that we are familiar with. The idea is this trade can be a simple 1-to-1 going maybe into a 1-to-10, just because you understand the overall scope. Like I said before, guys, this is the exact same strategy that I literally use in my community and also use to grow this account. And if you haven't been in tune with what's going on, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Comment down below that you do like these type of videos, because I will drop more for you guys. And then once again, if at any time you want to be more precise with your entries and more precise with your exit model, you can join our TWS community. I'm now doing one-on-one mentorships where I'm teaching anybody and everybody how to grow and scale a small account. Once again, I understand how it is. I got into trading because I wanted to fund my music career. So all I had was $100 or even $500 to get started. And as of today, that is all I still do and use to scale my accounts. As of today, I still haven't even deposited no more than $10,000 in my trading account, because I understand that you can scale a $500 account or a $1,000 account to $10,000. And once you get to $10,000, in my mindset, it's super simple to scale that from 100K or to 100K. So if you want to learn that in one-on-one coaching call with me and one of our solo network teachers, hit me up. Information's down below. Sign up for the application and I should see you guys soon. Your boy Solom out. Peace.